everyone, and welcome to a video special. It's episode 2 of our new video and podcast series. I don't think we've even got a name yet, but we do have 2 very special guests. Firstly, we have the OG, or one of the OGs, certainly, in Pete Cronin. How you doing, Pete?
Hello, very good, thanks. Good to be here.
Welcome back. It's great to have you with us. And we've also got Mark Tarbox as well, fresh off a good season last season. So good to see you, Mark. How you doing?
Very well, Chris. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, good afternoon or good morning, depending on when you're watching this back. So before we start, what we're going to do this evening or this afternoon, or when you get the drift, we are going to ask Pete and Mark some questions on their beloved Chelsea and Arsenal, and a little bit of FPL stuff as well. And then we're going to look at our teams ready for the game week 1 deadline, which is really getting a lot closer and closer. So our teams are nearly locked in. So I thought we'd have a look at them and discuss them.
How long is it, Chris? How long have we got?
We've got half hour.
No, until the deadline.
Until the deadline. Well, again, it depends when you watch this. But
that's true.
The deadline is Friday, 6:30 p.m. UK time. So we will need to be set for that. Right. And before we start, just quickly, we're going to try and do a few more of these throughout the season. So what we need is some volunteers out of the WhatsApp group to come on here and chat football for half an hour at one time or another this season. So we'll get on with it. But if anyone's watching this or listening to this and thinks they fancy joining us, just give us a shout. Okay, right. So let's go on with some questions, Pete and Mark. We're going to start with we'll start with Mark, and we'll start with a nice easy one. Where are Arsenal going to finish at the end of this season, Mark?
Oh, it's difficult. I want to say top. I want to say top.
But do you think you're going to finish top?
I think I've examined my life a lot recently, and I think what I need to push myself over the line is more positive thinking. Arteta's done a good job. Havertz is, going to lead the line. I mean, we still haven't even finished all the signings. City looks strong.
You've strengthened.
I think Arsenal will probably win.
Okay, probably that's about as good as it's going to get, maybe. But no, I think you're probably favourites this season. I don't think City are stronger. So you probably
Alvarez moving was quite a shock.
Yeah, that feels quite big. And if you maybe buy one more attacking player, I don't know. I think there's potential there. Okay, Pete, your question. On a similar vein, where are Chelsea going to finish at the end of this season? This is going to be anywhere from
same.
Okay. Yeah. Now, realistically.
Well, I think looking back, we're quite lucky to finish 6th, and it's hard to see us even finishing 6th again. So I'm going to stick with that. It's not very optimistic. If we get 5th, I think we've done well, but I reckon there'll definitely be 4 teams that are stronger than us.
Okay.
Sad but true. I think we've got more work to do. It's good to see a few of our players actually coming good that have been there for a little while towards the end of the season and into pre-season. But I think we've got more work to do. Yeah, 6th.
So 6th. Okay. Probably a reasonable guess. Estimation again, I think. All right, Mark. Next question. What's the Arsenal back four for game week 1? So this is obviously anyone watching. Anyone watching is going to be keen to get an Arsenal defender in because they were the best defence last season.
So Calafiore is that how you say? I don't even know how you say his name, but that's a really interesting signing.
He's 6 million, isn't he? I think he's quite expensive. But...
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. But I'm not sure if he's been bought to start because the starting back 3 it would be difficult to see anything but Gabriel and Saliba and Ben White so far. But Calafiore is more of a
position. It's just that one position, isn't it, on the left? You don't know.
Yeah, but Calafiore is more of a centre back, and he steps. He likes to step into midfield. So I don't know if Arteta's either seen something he thinks he could play that on the left, or sadly, I think he might just be cover for Saliba, because Saliba might go to Madrid at the end of the season. I don't know if we'll be able to keep Saliba for much longer.
Oh, you mean for next season sort of thing? Yeah.
In the Premiership last season.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. So I would say probably first game, it'd probably be Zinni out there. I would say Zinchenko.
Yeah, he's played the pre-season, hasn't he? Zinchenko. Yeah.
I mean, he's really good, unless the other team want to attack us, then he's it's less than ideal. But I think it'll be Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinni for the first couple of games at least.
Okay. So short term, you can maybe punt on Zinchenko.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned Justin Timber.
Julian Timber, yeah, whatever his name is. Julian. Yeah. What position does he play?
He's definitely a defender, mate.
Okay. I think that's good. Okay, yeah, well, he's got to come back in as well. I don't know if he's not going to start, is he? So
I don't know. He was bought to start and then he hurt his knee, and Ben White's just been he's
been out for a year though, hasn't he? So I think that's But okay, I think that what you mean is basically there's three options for the Arsenal defence. There's Saliba, Gabriel, or is there any risk of Gabriel maybe getting?
Well, yeah, you saw what happened last season.
Yeah.
Difficult, and then they both scored.
Saliba's got to be the most nailed, and Ben White, I guess, the two of them. But maybe if
I'd agree.
Okay, next question, Pete. I can't ask you to pick the Chelsea back four because I don't even think Maresca knows the Chelsea back four at the moment.
I mean, I could say, yeah. I think Cucurella and Gusto will definitely start.
Yeah. Okay.
Of the other two, it's Tosin, Badiashile.
Yeah, Colwell's played
and
quite a lot, I think, isn't he? Yeah.
So two of those three, I think.
What about Fofana? He's there. He played.
Fofana's back as well. Yeah. So yeah. As you say. Yeah. Between those four, probably.
But I mean, the Chelsea team is so up in the air. Certainly at the back.
Yeah.
But if you what defender? I was going to ask what defender you think ends up being the one who plays the most this season.
Gusto.
Gusto, because you think Reece James is just
Reece James. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a permanent crock, and I think Gusto shows he's reliable across the board. So he's always got a bit of attacking threat. He's a decent enough defender. He's been pretty nailed in pre-season.
Yeah, I think he played pre-season.
Yeah, he'll definitely start. He's 5 million. He's got attacking threat. So.
Yeah, he's a decent option.
As an FPL pick, Gusto, and I think he probably is the one that will play the most games. Or Cucurella. I think Cucurella's established himself now, and he'll play.
Yeah, it's weird not knowing the centre backs and knowing the full backs. It's normally the other way around, isn't it? But I think Colwell's probably played the most from what I've seen in pre-season. So maybe he's the most likely to start as one of the centre backs, and then. As you say, it could be Fofana or Tosin or hopefully not Badiashile or Disasi. There's loads of options.
Disasi hasn't had any minutes at all. Was the only
No. Okay. All right, that's good. Next up, Mark, we'll come back to Arsenal and looking at Odegaard and Saka. There's Odegaard is 8.5 and Saka's 10, and I just wanted to get your thoughts really on how close Odegaard can get in terms of points to Saka, or is it just Saka's the best option? You have to just pay the money. He's going to be probably like in the top 2 or 3 scoring players in the game. What do you reckon?
Well, so for me, Saka's the man. He will be the top scorer. But then, on his day, Odegaard can be amazing. Is what 1.5 million? Saka's going to be on pens, but they like to share it around when they're.
And does Odegaard take corners, or does Rice?
Rice is taking corners. Saka used to take corners.
Okay,
not sure. So I think Odegaard is a beautiful player. He's like Ozil. He gets a lot of the assister.
Yeah,
and he can be quite patchy. Whereas Saka just goes all season. Arteta's never taking Saka off, so you'll get like 100 minutes every week.
Okay, so basically it's Saka, and I think maybe
for me it's Saka, but it's football, isn't it? Odegaard could have a wonder season. I think hopefully he will.
But even if he has a wonder season, I think he has had some really good seasons for you and really good patches. He's not really an FPL kind of big scorer. He does so much more, doesn't he, for Arsenal than score points?
But when he's playing well, we play well. He is.
So he is, and he's going to be nailed on for the minutes. But so is Saka in that respect, I suppose. Is there any other midfield options for Arsenal in FPL?
It's difficult. It's about minutes, isn't it? Arteta will hopefully rotate more. Martinelli could come back. His form could come back. He hasn't had a great pre-season. Trossard is there, but they're going to share minutes. So it's very difficult. Rice is picking up some assists.
Yeah, it just feels. Do you feel like you go there?
It's only Saka. For me, it's only Saka. And if you want to save the cash, then it's probably Odegaard. Okay.
All right, we'll come on to your best Arsenal picks next, Mark. But before we do that, Pete, Palmer. We need to talk about Palmer because obviously he had an amazing season last season. Can he get close to his returns from last season? And
yes,
I mean, okay. Straight away. You don't think he's going to regress, or you think he might regress a bit, or doesn't matter?
No, I think it'll probably be about the same.
Really, I mean, if he does that again, we're going to be struggling to hold on to him.
Yeah, I think we're really, really lucky to have got him. I think he's the real deal.
Wow. Okay.
He's very talented.
So you think he's going to score 250 points again in the game?
I think he'll all come close. Yeah. I think he'll be the talisman. I think he'll be on pens. I think he'll get he'll score loads of amazing goals and make loads of goals. Yeah.
Wow. Real confidence. I'm hoping he's going to be in your team then when we see him
your team.
Later.
He's not in my team, obviously.
Obviously. Okay.
Come on. I suppose, yeah.
After what you just said.
He hasn't had any. I think. He's had like just a few pre-season minutes.
They're so young. Everyone keeps talking about pre-season minutes and resting them, and the players have had a rest, but they're so young. They want to play football. I mean,
it's just the first game, isn't it?
It's more about if they don't start him for whatever reason, or any of those things.
I mean, he didn't play last season till game week 7, and he still scored more points than any other player. So he's got, he's scary if he gets going, and you don't own him.
I think other teams will hopefully look out for him a little bit more.
You've got to captain someone at that price. For me, they've got to be captainable. 10 minutes.
Well, he was last season. If he scores the returns, you said he's going to score again. He is captainable.
Yeah, I know. I realise that, but you've got to be, you've got to get past that psychological barrier of taking it off Salah or Haaland to do that.
Well, I don't think you can own. It's not that easy to own all three. But anyway,
you'd have, presumably one of them, at least one of the other two. So,
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, you're very high on Palmer. I'm high on Palmer. I just think that he can't. I don't think he gets what he got last season. I think he drops off a little bit. But you're right. He could drop off a little bit and still get 225 points and be a really, really good option still.
Yeah, even 200, over 200 would be. A decent season for anyone. That's Salah levels, to be fair.
Well, that's the benchmark, isn't it, for top the premiums for getting over 200. Yeah. Okay, well let's narrow it down then to our best or your best picks for Arsenal and Chelsea respectively, because I think most players are going to want at least one or two Arsenal and one maybe Chelsea, depending on how crazy they are. So firstly, Mark, who's the best three? If you have to go for three Arsenal, which three Arsenal do you go for?
Saka. I'd go for Saka, and then you want to weigh into the defence. So it's either Gabriel or Saliba or Reyes. Reyes 5.5. Yeah. But then Gabriel and Saliba, you've got more chance of a bonus than goals.
Yeah,
I would
with chance of goals.
And then you've got to choose. I had double Arsenal defence for quite a while last season, and it was really, really good. But it is, again, it's quite pricey, isn't it? Now they're 6 million each.
Yeah, but I mean,
and then there's an argument for Ben White. So basically, one from the front, Saka, one from the back, Ben White if you can afford it, and then either you would go double up at the back or Havertz. He might play out of position, although Gabriel Jesus has smashed up this in pre-season as well. So, and they might buy a striker.
Sorry, can I just say it smashed it up a fair turn?
What did he do?
Scored loads of goals. Scored some beautiful goals. He's assisting.
Okay,
lovely. He didn't have Texas anymore.
How do you?
Okay, so, but hold on, you haven't nailed your 3 best. So
I'm going Saka, Ben White,
yeah,
and Havertz.
Okay. Looking forward to seeing your team, seeing which of those players are in there as well. So, okay, and then Pete, if anyone is crazy enough to go with treble Chelsea from the start, which I'd be amazed. Who are the 3 best Chelsea FPL picks this season?
Well, it's going to seem quite boring now, but Gusto.
Yep.
Straight away, 5 mil, not too pricey. He'll get points. I've just made life slightly easier for myself, so my second pick will be Palmer.
Okay.
Second after Gusto.
To be fair, there aren't that many options. I think Jackson, when he comes back, I would definitely be looking to bring Jackson in at 7.5 mil.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
But I'd pick Nkunku.
Yes. I think he has to be He has to be in the 3. I think.
Yeah. So he's looked great. He's a quality player. He's starting to find his role, and he's really cheap as well. 6.5 mil, I think. So
yeah, he's good value, isn't he? Yeah. And he's a midfielder now.
Yeah, so I'll be starting with him. I'm pretty sure I've got him. Current lineup.
Good. I look forward to seeing. We look forward to seeing that. So Palmer, Gusto, Palmer. If we're doing it in order, and then
yeah.
No, I think Gusto's. I mean, certainly short term, he's absolutely nailed because he's, as you say, Reece James is banned for 3 games and injured. I mean, I don't know what else.
Are Chelsea going to keep any clean sheets?
Yeah,
well, that's a good question. I think they will keep a few, but not many. That's not many all season. And the question is, when do they get them? Like, they're not going to get it against City, are they? So
it's 5 mil though. It's not the 6 mil you're forking out for Gabriel or Saliba. That's all the Liverpool defenders, But
there are good options at 4.5. I guess that's the thing. Especially, and there are actually options at Chelsea at 4.5. We just don't know which ones yet.
True that.
Because we don't know what the team is yet. And I think Cucurella's 5 as well. And I would say Gusto's more attacking. Slightly less.
He had a good Euros.
Yeah, he had a good end of the season as well. And it's all down to if the manager likes him. But you'd think being the Spanish number 1 left back.
He came straight back in pre-season.
I think
he's ready. He played.
How much is he?
I think he's 5 as well.
I think as you say, from him, you'd want the clean sheets, really.
Well, he feels less likely to get attacking returns than Gusto, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like you say, you're maybe relying on those attacking returns because I don't know. I look at our opening fixtures and they're kind of good, but then you think, but those teams last season were the teams we all struggled against. City we were good against, but we struggled against Wolves, we struggled against Brentford, we struggled against West Ham. Those are the teams we're playing. So if we do the same that we did last season, we'll get a 4-4 with City or a 2-2 with City, and then we'll lose 4 games. So it is really into the unknown with Chelsea, but it's exciting. As a Chelsea fan, are you excited?
Might buy 15 more players before.
Oh, definitely. Anyway. We need at least 15 more players. I don't know the name of to learn. But are you excited, Mark, about the new season?
I am getting quite excited now. I realised the deadline was this Friday, which was But
Really?
yeah,
always
I've
does
been
it.
ignoring it for quite a while because I was hurt after last season. But I'm
Well, that leads me on to my question. We've got one more question each. And you talk about last season. You had you had a really good season. It's just that you fell away at the end. If someone had said
in the last like 30 minutes.
well, no, you were falling away a little bit before that as well. But so yeah, you were up there all season in the league, fell away right at the end. So this season, Mark, what are you going to do differently to avoid that happening again? Or was it just luck and you just?
Also, no. So on the last day of the season,
Maybe
this
don't
had
do more.
happened before.
Nothing.
So on the last day of the season, my mother-in-law had her birthday always around there, and I think it's happened before. I had lunch with the mother-in-law, and then I had to come to your house. Well, I didn't have to. I was coming to your house for the final game, or no, to Harrison's, and didn't leave. Pulling over before I get on the M25 to do my last transfers was probably not ideal. So I'll try and do that better. And
so don't go to your mother-in-law's birthday lunch next year. That's rule number one.
If I'm at the top again, it will be
priorities.
Sorry, I'm not coming. And also I did think about this, and I thought if I'm like really close to the top again for like the last 2 weeks, I'm just going to start reporting the teams above me for offensive names. See what happens.
Okay, good plan. Good to see you've got a good plan.
Okay. And also positive thinking.
And also a bit of that, yeah. No, I do think, and there is an element of. I think you didn't have a chip as well. You were without a chip.
So I had a really good season, and it was going really well because I didn't think too hard about strategy. I kind of followed like what I hoped would happen. I was quite lucky a long way through, and as it got further towards the end, I thought I really need to start taking this really seriously and thinking about it and spending time on it. But I thought this approach of kind of flying by the seat of my pants has got me so far. I shouldn't give up on it now. But yeah, I will think more about chip strategies definitely this season. Okay. I think reporting people above me is probably the best idea.
Yeah, no, that's sound advice to all the people who are watching out there who are thinking what they could do this season differently. Just report people above you. All right. Well, no, I think it's useful because I think to hear like kind of people's experiences, we've all kind of been there where you have a good season and you tail away, and the opposite is also true though. You could be having a kind of okay season and then have a really good run at the end. But Pete, let's come to you then to give you a question about your FPL sort of ways. And you've had a couple of seasons, I would say, just out of the out of the wilderness, out in the wilderness.
I'd say one, but yeah, all right.
One, yeah, well, okay, but okay.
I can't remember where I was the season before. But,
just one, but you won't be alone in that. You won't be alone in being someone who's had a bit of a rough season last season. So how are you approaching this season differently to ensure that doesn't happen again?
To last season, I don't know. I mean, I was very busy, as we all know, last year, and so that prevented me from spending as much time watching football and looking at FPL as I might otherwise have done. And I hope to have more spare time to do such things this season. Ultimately, I'm going in with a very similar strategy to previous seasons, but just trying to learn a bit more. I think so. I'm someone who struggles a little bit with discipline in the game, and I take a few wild punts here and there, and so just to try and stay true to myself and my own game, I think, as ever, is something I'll be trying to do.
Okay, but what those wild punts, are you going to try and control those? Or are you going to embrace those?
Bit of both.
Oh, right, great. Yeah. See how you feel at the time.
I like to enjoy the game, so I almost always have punts. I find it boring copying the template, and that's my biggest problem, probably. But yeah, I want to have fun doing it. So Let's
Okay.
try and be in front of the crowd.
So your team is not the template then when we see it.
So I looked at the FF Scout 11 earlier, and I've got like one or two.
Okay. Well, let's go to our teams, and we'll go to Pete's first.
I've watched a lot of the pre-season and a lot of pre-season highlights, but I haven't looked on FF Scout that much.
Okay. You can full screen the screen, Mark, to make it bigger.
Should I talk you through it?
Can you talk us through for the podcast listeners, Pete, because they won't be able to see, obviously.
All right. So I've gone for. So I have tinkered a little bit with this today. I'll be honest. I've gone for 2 safe-ish keepers. Leno for Fulham. It's 5 mil, which seems a bit over the top, but he does get points in. And for the start of the season, I don't mind having a safe-ish keeper. And I've got Flecken, who's a rotatable alternative. I've had loads of really bad luck over the last few seasons with keepers. So getting a reliable pair.
Okay.
It's just a bit safer. I've got Castagni. I reckon Fulham have got a good start. They've got a nice vibe to their team at the moment. So I'm punting on another cheap 4.5 mil Fulham defender with a little bit of attacking potential. Virgil, boring and safe Liverpool defender for the Ipswich fixture. There's no guarantee that they'll get a clean sheet. We saw loads of games where with bankers for clean sheets, not seeing them last season. So we'll see how that goes. But I think you've got to have a Liverpool defender in for that first game. And then I've gone for 2 4 millions and Pedro Porro.
Who's your 4 millions?
I've got Barco and Mascaro. And
okay, I think they're both going to play, aren't they? Yeah.
That is from reading on Fantasy Football Scout.
Yeah, and Porro, you say?
Porro, yeah, I've had a look at him. I haven't really got anyone that I really want to give that place to, and I mean I'm not sure about Spurs, but yeah, I've just gone for a bit of fun with him, see if that pans out. I've just realised I've got 3 Fulham. So I've got ESR. It looks great in pre-season. Yeah, that's fun. 5.5 mil straight in the team.
Okay.
Easy. He's on penalties and scores. He's talisman. He scores points all the time. So yeah, I've never. I don't think I've really owned him for a long run before. So yeah. I have gone for Odegaard. I love Odegaard. I had him for ages last season, took him out when he had a bit of a rubbish time, and he then just carried on scoring points after that. So he's a real tick along for points, which is fine. I'll take that for 8.5 mil. If he gets points, I'm never going to captain him. And then I've gone for Diaz. He's another player I like. Skillful player. Nailed on pretty much to start first game.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of will they share the points a bit at Liverpool, hopefully. So yeah, I've got Diaz. Then up front, Isak, Havertz, Haaland. So Haaland is my captain. Isak looks great at the moment. It's popular, he's straight in. I've got Nkunku on the bench, of course, and then I think Havertz is a player that's shown consistency. He's cheap, relatively cheap, so yeah, bring on the Arsenal coverage. I would have squeezed in an Arsenal defender if I could have done, but I don't want 2 6 mil defenders.
No.
So yeah, there we go. That's mine.
Okay, and I love Nkunku on the bench. I think that's genius actually, because you've got him there if someone doesn't play.
Yeah,
you've got him for the next week, and if he does do score against City, you'll be happy, and he'll probably go up in price, and everyone will be getting him in next week. So
I mean, I think there's every chance we get a goal against City or 2, as you say. But I think they'll beat us. They beat us 4-2 in pre-season, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really nice team. It's definitely not template. It's definitely not template.
Yeah.
You've got an unusual midfield there. Really, only Eze, I would say, is template out of that midfield. And maybe the goalkeepers you could you've got maybe 0.5 too much you're spending there. I don't know, but
yeah.
Have you got any money in the bank with that, or is that 100 million?
No, that is the 100, I think. Yeah.
So good. No, it's nice. I think you'll probably just tinker with it slightly. You probably realise you don't want treble Fulham at home to United on Friday, or away to United, even worse.
Yeah, there is that $500,000 in the keeper that I can play with there as well. As you say, I could upgrade one of my other 4 mils.
Yeah, but I think you've got the shell of them, and that front line is, it's going to bang, isn't it? Do you like it, Mark?
That's great. That is nice. Emile Smith Rowe has been playing well, and Fulham having a nice start as well.
Yeah.
Double Fulham at the back is quite
that's bold.
brave.
Yeah.
Leno
I'm certainly not expecting a clean sheet there, but yeah, there might be a better way of spending that money game week 1, to be fair.
But Leno absolutely killed it the start of last season.
He gets saved.
He gets in the bonuses. He gets it when he saves.
Yeah.
He is.
Just not sure goalkeepers are going to get the bonuses.
And to be fair, that I did think that they will be having shots. They will have a lot of crap shots at him. So it will get
Rashford United.
Rashford's playing. He's not going to get saves, though, is he?
Oh my god! I feel really bad for him at the moment.
Okay, well that's maybe for another podcast.
Leave United.
Okay, good. Just lost all our United podcast listeners there. Excellent. All right, let's move on quickly because we've done half an hour already. Let's look at Mark's team. Obviously, this isn't final, but Mark, for the podcast listeners, would you mind going through your team?
Sure. So up until last night, I was on 3-5-2, but and I've been quite. I haven't got Haaland and Salah, and I've been a bit worried about that. And I think I might crack before Friday to bring them in. But I've had a few goes, and I find it really hard to get anything at the back or on the bench when you have Saka, Salah, and Haaland. So, but I've got 3-4-3 at the back. Raya, Gabriel, Robertson, and Branthwaite, who looks like he's picked up an injury, so I might have to change that. But Branthwaite was great for me last season. To be honest, he was on the bench and he came on a few times. He does pick up some bonuses or goals. But I found it really hard this season. It seems like everyone's just going like 4 million, 4.5 million at the back, and Trent, which I've had a few teams looking like that. But
can I just say, it's like everyone thinks that it's going to be an exact repeat of last season.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know if it's partly because of the playing out the back thing, and the different press.
But a clean sheet is so nice, and Arsenal did rack them up, and everyone started talking about their hard start. But
there's every
chance
chance
everyone last season and did all right.
Liverpool do it, or in theory, City might do it. Arsenal can do it. Yeah, any of those 3 teams can start racking up clean sheets if they're in the mood. It's just whether they decide to play that way.
Well, and at the beginning of the season, is it more random and because players are coming back still and all that kind of stuff? I don't know, but if you're right. Those are the 3 premium defences by far. Liverpool, I would say, is just below, but they've got better attacking assets in Trent and Robertson actually. So
so I've got Robertson here just because he's
is he 6 million as well, Mark?
Budget. I think he's 6 mil, and really he's just a way in to Liverpool because I haven't got Salah. I don't even know if it's true, but all the content creators tell me Liverpool have got the easiest start in living memory. So it's kind of made me want
a good run. They've got a good run. Apart from United, first 6 or 7, they've got a really good run. So.
I'd include United in the good run, but got say Robertson. Then across the middle, we've got Easy, Saka, Szoboszlai, and Minte. Minty has been. I've been going between Minty and ESR quite a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But, and Szoboszlai, because I want the Liverpool cover, and hopefully he's going to be playing as an attacking number 10. And just need into that Liverpool front line, and it's really difficult to see who's nailed apart from Salah. Like Jota would be great. Is he going to play? Diaz, is he going to play? I don't know. And I don't want to take too many risks.
Is Szoboszlai going to play though?
Szoboszlai will play, surely.
I think so. I think, yeah, but like Diaz, like Jota, they're all in that camp where you go, yeah, I think they're going to play. But you're right, you can't go. They're not.
I would say Szoboszlai. Well, I shouldn't say it because I curse it. But thinking positively, I think Szoboszlai is the most nailed after Salah, because I think Jota. Yeah. Wow. I think so. And then up top, Haaland, Isaac, and Muniz, because Fulham have got a lovely start. And I think he'll play. And then Nkunku on the bench.
Again, brilliant.
And Konza as well. Konza plays, he'll start. Yeah. And Barco will play as well.
Nice. Okay, so you've got quite a bit on the bench there, which is good. You know,
I know. I noticed that last night when I was doing this one, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because when I've done all my other drafts, I really just ended up with literally nothing on the bench, and it's a bit nervy for the first couple of weeks when you don't know who's going to play.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely the right word, nervy. But yeah, it's sort of like you don't know. Well, let me show you. I'll show mine because mine's maybe a bit more along those lines. This is my latest tinker since I think I changed it last night after the friendlies and the Charity Shield and stuff, hence a couple of those people being in there. So I've gone for Rare in goal. I've gone for Porro as well, who Pete has. Did you have him as well, Porro?
Yeah.
No, I haven't got Porro. I did until last night.
I've gone for Burn from Newcastle. But to be honest, that will change for whichever Newcastle defender I think is most likely to play that isn't Share, because they're all 4.5, I think. So I'll probably just go for that.
How are you going to decide who's going to start?
Well, I'm just going to have to try and work. It's just the most likely. That's all I'm going to do. Like at the moment, I think Burns all right because they haven't signed a centre back. But as soon as they sign a centre back, maybe not. So a Newcastle defender, hopefully there, and then Quansah from Liverpool, who I think is going to start the season, and he's 4.5, who offers 0 attacking threat, but just for the cleans if you can get them. And then across the midfield, I've got Brennan Johnson, Anthony Gordon, Mo Salah, and Diogo Jota. So I think that's quite a good midfield. It doesn't have any Arsenal, doesn't have any City in it, doesn't have Eze in it. But I could get to Eze if I wanted to. I just feel like Johnson and Gordon are more like potent. But and then I've got Isaac and Haaland up front, but I've gone cheaper. I've got Pedro there, João Pedro, because otherwise you can't afford to have Salah obviously in there. And then on the bench, I've got a 4.0 keeper. I've got Oscar Bob as my first sub, and then Barco and Face, who are both 4.0s, who I think will both play. Bob, I think, is going to start the first game, maybe the second game of the season for City. And I quite like the idea of having him if he does do something, and if one of my players above don't start, he's quite a good one to be coming in. And then I'll just swap him to like Morgan Rogers or whichever one of those ESR, whichever one of those players catches fire. I'll just get to him, swap Bob to him. So that's my current look at the moment. How much do you think your teams are going to change, Pete?
Well, after your nice feedback, I'll probably try and keep close to it. I probably won't switch back to Salah now, and I definitely won't go with both Salah and Haaland.
Okay, so you're just a bit of fine tuning then, really, for you.
Yeah, that'd be nice if I can stay like that.
And then your captain Isak, were you?
Me?
On game week 1.
Well, Captain Haaland.
Oh, you're captaining Haaland against Chelsea. Okay.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tells you everything. And Mark, what about you? Do you reckon your team is going to change much?
There will be some fine tuning, but it all depends. I don't know. I think I've spoken to a few people about it, and I think I probably will. I think I can see myself cracking on like about Thursday afternoon and like just panicking Salah into my team, and then just see where we go. I'm not going to panic too much. Bakes says he always wild cards early, so
yeah, absolutely. It's just a game.
It's just a game. Exactly.
Okay. On that note, I think we'll bring it to a close. But thank you, Pete, and thanks, Mark. Thanks both for joining us. It's been really good fun, and I personally really enjoy doing these, and I'm happy to do them throughout the season. So, as I said before at the beginning, if anyone's up for it, just give us a shout, and we'll set it up. So good luck, everyone, for the deadline on Friday. I hope your final tinkers go well. And Pete, any final words? I remember I always used to ask you for a final word back in the day.
Yes, be kind.
Be kind. Excellent. Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks, Mark. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.